Hey everybody, my name is Nick, and today I'm going to be going over this new video, which is going to be how to maintain your garden. So basically this is a follow-up of the last two videos I posted, which were the tips to starting a garden and also the benefits of having a garden. So this is how to maintain it. This is like, once you actually have your garden set up and stuff, how you want to maintain it. One of the first things you want to do to maintain your garden is to and we have a plane passing over, so that's nice. So I'm just gonna wait a second for that. Super convenient. Yeah, so basically one of the first things you want to do to monitor the health of your plants is to basically make sure they're the proper color. Also make sure you're watering them regularly. Also check on them daily. Like you want to be like coming out to your garden every single day, like 2 to 3 times a day. Make sure you check on it, see what's going on, monitor your plant's growth, monitor what color they are, monitor how much water you're giving them and how many times, just to make sure that you're keeping your plants healthy. So that's one of the first things you need to do to maintain your garden. So one of the second things important to maintaining a garden and keeping it like healthy is that it's not to overwater your plants. So hear me out. I know watering your plants, obviously, you gotta keep them alive. Most people know that, but it's also about like not watering them too much. You need to research how much water is suggested based on a plant, based on how much water your soil can absorb. So basically you want to give your plants like just the right amount of water to where it's not like leaking out and stuff, because this could kill your plants. So make sure you're giving your plants the right amount of water. You don't want to kill your plants. And yeah, you want to do this at least like multiple times. It all depends on your garden. Like for us, we water our garden, but we have like a large sprinkler that we put out sometimes and leave it on for a good 30 minutes since we have a larger amount of soil, just to get all the plants like watered and everything without having to do a lot of work. So that's very helpful. That's a suggestion if you want to have like a larger scale garden. But if you have something smaller, you want to water it like once. Just give it a decent amount of water once a day. That'll keep it alive and growing. So yeah. So now moving into one of the third things you need to do to maintain your garden, and that is to maintain your soil. So pretty much what I mean by that, and we have another plane passing over, so I'm gonna hold on 1 second before I keep talking, because it's really loud. Right? Yep. It's almost gone. Alright, so yeah, basically, one of the things you need to do is to maintain your soil, and how you do that is by making sure you are regularly fertilizing it, and make sure you like mix in fertilizer every now and then. For example, I showed this in one of my first videos, and it's this black cow fertilizer. That's what I use, but there's probably other stuff you could use out there. That's the only fertilizer I've used so far. So that's what we've used to keep our soil like nutrient rich, and that's one of a very significant part of maintaining a garden. Now I'm going into the fifth thing that you could do to maintain your garden, and that is to scare away animals. And I know I said this in one of my tips videos to starting a garden, but this is something that you need to do to maintain your garden, because you do not want it, like, I'm just going to emphasize this, you do not want it to get destroyed. As you know, many animals like to come into gardens and just like destroy it. For example, in our area we have raccoons, we have possums constantly coming into our garden. So one of the things we did, we put an owl down, and that's to scare away some smaller predatory animals, and that seems to do the job pretty well. We don't have any raccoons or possums really coming in that much, so that helps. So make sure you find a way to protect your garden from like animals, because that will most likely be a problem. Or not even animals, or maybe other species coming in and eating, like smaller insects and stuff that you won't even notice. So try and find ways to negate that if you can, and if it's having a negative impact on your garden. So yeah, that's one of the 5th ways to maintain your garden. So the 6th way to maintain your garden is to make sure you clean your maintenance tools. Like whatever you're using, shovels, smaller shovels, like any of that stuff, rakes, like make sure you clean off all your tools after use, because like maintaining their cleanliness also maintains the health of your garden. Because if you're using dirty tools on on your garden, it could cause your plants to die. You just don't want that to happen. So just make sure you regularly clean your tools, not only just for your garden, just like general cleanliness, you know, maintaining the hygiene of just your garden and garden tools. So yeah, so one of the very last things I'm gonna have to say about maintaining your garden, it's not conclusive. It's not like these are the only things you could do to maintain your garden. However, these are very like essential things that you need to do and just have in mind when you're maintaining a garden. So yeah, the last thing is that you need to make sure you kill your weeds. I showed in the first video, basically under all these rocks, or I have white rocks around, so I'll just take the camera and show. So these white rocks all have a weed barrier under them. We dug up the dirt, killed all of the weeds around the areas, including under there, and we then added these like barriers and put the soil up to make that. So this is our garden. And we have a weed barrier under that, so we don't have any weeds growing into our garden, and also weeds growing through our rocks. You don't want this because they're kind of invasive and can take over your space, and you just don't want that to happen. So make sure you kill the weeds around your garden area, and also install a weed barrier because they'll just end up growing back. So yeah, that was my last maintaining kind of tip. Okay everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video on how to maintain your garden, and if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and also subscribe. It's free, and leave a comment as well if you liked anything about the video, and see ya.